Liberatore popped by Young for Hunter, who can just elicit contact like few others. Garcia was forward. He steadies at 50 to the advantage of Ugle-Hagan, who's got separation. Almost the mark. He creates the spillage, and Daniel bites back. And it's got to be one of the better two-possession debuts we've seen to the halfway mark of a second quarter so far from Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. Not a lot being added to the stat sheet columns, but his presence around the ball is creating something.
Yeah, you're right, Nigel. Look, I think the ability for the separation here, you can't teach that sort of craft to be able to get the separation, BT, as well. Is that a forward like that, you give you give your teammates an opportunity. His role is to present and be an option out for a long kick, brings the ball front and centre. More importantly, doesn't let it over the back, but he allows his small forwards to be front and square to kick the goal.
Umpire called play on advantage. Garcia received the handball. Jamarra Ugle-Hagan almost off the path. Daniel will kick a goal for the Dogs. Caleb Daniel kicks the goal for the Western Bulldogs. Badly needed one. They go to 4-3-27. They trail Sydney 6-2-38. 11 and a half gone second term. Is Gilbert.
Yeah, Jamarra Ugle there. That was well done by the young kid. I mean, he hasn't taken a mark, but the good thing was he brought it to ground and Caleb Daniels crumbed off him. You know what I was so happy about? Bruce, Waitman, all these other fellas, they all ran over to him and said, well done, mate. Sometimes in AFL, you don't need a possession. You just have to make a contest. That's his value.
Well, they were worried about that. Young Daniel sitting there. But the good thing was, it was out of the centre.
And there's a little bit of space. He ducked the shoulders. Umpire said you can't do that play on. Now they're inside. Good work there by Garcia. Drives it to the top of the square. Ugle-Hagan nearly took it, but there's Daniels. At ground level, Ugle-Hagan. Good effort to bring the ball to ground. The team love that. And the little robot man, Caleb Daniel, at front and square, has kicked the Doggies fourth. They're 4-3-27.
Though, as Young finds Hunter, who dipped the knees, got a high from McInerney. Umpire called play on. They had the advantage. Garcia swings at top of the goal square. Ugle-Hagan had two hands to it. Falls to the front. Daniel will score. He's getting closer and closer, Jamarra Ugle-Hagan, but this time it was Caleb Daniel with the crumbing work, top of the goal square, and the Dogs get one back.
And you got to love that. He created that contest to allow the spill for the goal. But every single Bulldogs player, mid and forward, went over and got around him and said, well done, mate. You played your role there. You've helped us to score a goal.
Outside.
Liberatore with a clearance. Got it to Young. Hand pass forward to Hunter, who has taken high. Feeds it out to Garcia. Inside 50. Long towards Ugle-Hagan. And it almost dropped it. Gathered by Daniel. He'll put it through regardless. And they come from everywhere to encourage the presence of Jamarra Ugle-Hagan, despite Daniel finishing the goal for the Dogs. An important one for them after Sydney had kicked the previous two goals. And the margin is back to an 11-point lead Sydney's way. 6-2-38 to the Bulldogs, 4-3-27. 11 minutes gone, second term on ABC Sport.
Gee, he looks likely, doesn't he? And let's be honest, he's touched more the ball, had a bigger influence of Josh Bruce being the more experienced player, but it's you know, what I like about him, he's always on the move. It looks like he's really hard to play on because he's always active, always leading. There's 1, 2, there's 3 leads. As we see on the replay, he went to lead, pushed back, realised he wasn't going to get it, and then provides a really good contest for his smalls. But he hasn't touched the footy as much, but he's been the focal point for the Bulldogs as a forward.
And now Hunter, who gets his head taken off just about by McInerney. Hand passes to Garcia, hits 50. The Dogs need something down towards Ugle-Hagan. Falls to the little man who bangs it through. Good contest in the air by Ugle-Hagan. He nearly grabbed it. In the end, though, it falls to the man in the helmet, Caleb Daniel, who kicks his first, and much needed for the Dogs. Good contest in the air.
Yeah, good contest. And all the players ran to him and they said, well done. Because he's going to stay. You can just see his confidence just growing. So he judged that one better through the air. Didn't mark it. He's had a couple of nearly marks.
coming off the ground now for a rest, so Robbo will tell us how he's looking. But I've liked his lap.
Got good
jumps.
split. He pushed off the Swans defender, gave himself split. And it was just a lack of body strength, just a little bit of force on him. He just bobbled the ball, but he'll hold them as he gets bigger and stronger. But I love what Hunter did. Taken high, he didn't go back over the mark. He just got up and played the ball on, so it was a quick entry.
Handball to Hunter. Hunter taken high, free kick. He plays on. He gives the handball to Garcia. He steps inside the 50, little man. Here's Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. Couldn't take it. Caleb Daniels roves it and kicks the goal. He was front and centre, Caleb Daniel. And the Bulldogs with their fourth. And again, Jamarra Ugle-Hagan got hands to it. He all but took that mark. 4-3-27, the Doggies. And the Swans are 6-2, 38 at the 11.5-minute mark of the second quarter on the Robot Building Supply scoreboard.
He looks threatening, Richard.
He does. And it's just, he hasn't quite been one grab yet, but the thing is, KB's getting in the right positions. So that's a really good sign. You know that he can get to the right spots, and once that touch comes, he gets a bit of confidence, they'll start sticking.
And Caleb Daniel went to him straight away, Tony, and said, you know...
Great contest.
Yeah. Great contest. That gave me the crumb in front of the pack. So the Doggies still got a bit of work to do. 4-3-27. Sydney Swans 6-2-38. We've been travelling 12 minutes into this second term, all this action.